So this session is basically about the next 2 years, how the program is going to be like. And for that, we have invited the program chair, Professor Venkatesh Murthy. So he'll be talking about the program. And if you have any questions, any queries related to that, you're most welcome. You should get your queries resolved. So over to you, Professor Venkatesh Murthy.
Thank you, Akanksha. Thank you for the introduction. First of all, let me join my colleagues and all the dignitaries of the induction program, welcoming you all once again to the Institute, to the School of Management and Entrepreneurship, and to the larger IIT family. Indeed, with an immense sense of pleasure and honor, I'm here with you, trying to talk to you about how the program is going to span out over the next 2 years, and what is going to be the most pleasing aspect of the whole exercise as you become part of the entire MBA program, and what are the challenges that you might also face as you go through. And also, I'll try and briefly touch upon the pedagogical aspects of it, and then how your learning component is going to be throughout the next 2 years. And I'm sure several of you, having gone through the preparatory course, you already have a taste of what has been the academic engagement, and you've probably, some of you must have enjoyed the process of learning it. And do please feel free to share any of the concerns and the thoughts that you might have. I'll be more than happy to take those questions as we go along. I have a small and a quick presentation to make, and to try and demonstrate some of the basic tenets of the program. I'll take you to this, and of course, without boring you much and without worrying you too much with the whole thing, because it's been already quite some time for you since morning. Been going through a long process, aren't you? Just to get a sense of how has it been going in. Is it been too long for you? Just to get a sense from one of you, if any of you would like to tell me in couple of words, how has it been? Anyone to say a few words? Silence. Yes, Anisha.
I guess someone was going ahead, so if he or she wants to, then I won't interfere.
Yeah, the preparatory classes gave us the flavor of how the next 2 years would have been. We got a chance to interact with a lot of faculty and also get in touch with all the peers. So they were quite, interactive and useful for us.
So I was telling regarding the program we had today, specifically starting from the morning. So it was a nice process. I mean, hearing different perspectives from different diverse group of people. So yeah, it was very insightful and at the same time a bit tedious to start with, but that's the rigor, I guess, we'll be going through. So yeah.
Anisha, this is very good observation. Appreciate the honest view from you. And the word tedious becomes a new normal for you. Welcome to the world of management studies, and this is what it is going to be. And induction is generally expected to give you that flavor of what is your life going to be for the next 2 years. So we start off the entire thing with that intensive work, intensive exercise or engagement, you call it, to give you that entire view of the next 2 years. Yeah, welcome to the new world. You're stepping into a new world. You've chosen to step in. You've chosen to call the bull to come and hit you. Now face it. Right. On a lighter note, of course, it's going to be a challenging as well as the most pleasing journey. Life as a student, particularly to me, is probably the most precious and the most joyful one. I have had a very, very fulfilling very long student life in a way that was 22 years long student life. That's quite a lot, isn't it? 22, 23, for some of my colleagues, it could be even 23, 24 years, just studying, right from your standard one to, all the way up to your doctoral work, you continue as a student. And thereafter, of course, once you come out of the student life and if you become an academic, you remain a student. That's another beauty of being in academics. You continue studying. What else would we do here, sitting here? So we would read, write, and that's the fun of it. But as an exclusive student, you will have a little more, entertaining time than most of us. We will have to. We become, as we step out of that student zone, we become a little more serious. But fortunately, a lot of you, as you step into the student zones, you have more fun. So enjoy. This is the time to enjoy, have fun. Yeah. Make sure that you will carry good memories and going forward and so on. Now, to begin with,
Sir, I'm
so
so
we're
sorry to I'm so sorry to interrupt. I just wanted to put something forward before it was too late. I just want to
yeah.
thank and appreciate all the teachers and all the professors who put their time aside to cover us up with the basics and everything for all these preparatory classes. I mean, I'm sure everyone were very busy and everything, so I just really appreciate the effort from the SME part, the seniors as well.
Oh,
Just wanted to
always, indeed, it's been our job that all my colleagues and the entire team has been working, all this while, and this is after all our duty, and we hope to do our best. Thank you for those kind words, Vishishta. So that's very nice of you. We hope to do as much better as possible and grow, as with much more clarity with our thoughts and with much more creativity in our, in our bag. So we want to really try and better off day every day. All right. So getting into the MBA and Tech MBA part of it, we have, as you've already been hearing about, we have got two lines of two streams of MBA program. Rather, I call them two streams of specialization. Tech MBA, if you would come to decide upon in the second year of your program, you don't get to choose that in the first year. That is something that you already might know of it. So I must also introduce you to Dr. Preeti Hingorani, who is sitting right next to me here. She's the program manager. She provides all the administrative support possible in running the entire MBA program, and she will be one of the important point in contact for all of you to sort of get all kinds of help at various point in time. So I'm sure she is one of the most bright persons in terms of handling all the academic matters concerned. I'm sure she'll be able to facilitate your entire learning for the next 2 years. She is probably one of the most important persons going forward. Yeah, so now having talked about MBA and Tech MBA aspect of it, the first year of the program is expected to give you a broad flavor of all the disciplines of MBA. Now, what are these disciplines? Where do they come from? MBA as such is not a unique one set of learning platform altogether. Instead, it is a platform consisting of a lot of interdisciplinary learning components coming from multiple sources, such as a lot of it comes from, of course, social sciences, such as psychology, such as economics, sociology, anthropology, and so on. And we do derive certain concepts that come from typical science and technology per se. Since we have a tech MBA program, technology becomes an integral part of our entire activity as we go forward. So in the first year, we try to cover all the fundamentals possible coming from all the disciplines such as economics, finance, marketing, human resource, IT. So in all of these disciplines, the largest social science subjects such as sociology, economics, psychology, all of them have bearing and sharing. So this is where we would try and cover as much fundamentals and basics as possible, so that you will not miss out on those essential components going into the specialization year, that is second year. So your course structure in the first year is expected to somewhat look like this. You will study total of 42 credits worth of classroom engagement. So 41 credit for 41 credits of classroom engagement. Then you will have about 6 credits worth of winter internship and summer internship. Your winter internship will be about working with an NGO or a foundation or a CSR wing of a corporate house, where you will try and explore a new set of challenges, a new set of organizational conditions. So last year, we really conducted it quite successfully, reaching out to several hundreds of organizations across the country. And several of them came forward to hire our students and then appoint them in various job roles that they had in place. So we had a very successful and very positive feedback and review from all our partner organizations about the participation of your fellow senior students. And same is going to be the case. And as most of you already know, that all of your seniors at this point in time are pursuing their summer internships. Some of them have finished, some of them are yet to finish. By the end of this month, they should be finishing. But all in all of them have had a flavor of summer internship during the summer. Working with corporates, particularly getting attested to one of the specific job roles. This is how the whole experience is going to span out. So while you do serious academic endeavors, while you undertake serious academic endeavors during your first year, studying about 41 credit worth of courses. 41 credit means each credit is worth 14 hours. That means you can multiply it by 41, and you would see the number of hours of classroom engagement that you will have as part of the first year curriculum. You will study hard, and I must tell you, each 1 hour of classroom engagement, if it is a taught lecture course, that is what structure we call it as 200. As you can see, against a specific course, you see a specific structure being written there, 2-0-0. That 2 refers to credit. That means it's a 2 credit course, meaning 28 hours of classroom engagement. Meaning each 1 hour of classroom engagement requires you to prepare for it at least 3 hours on your own before you come to the class. I hope you are getting it. I repeat, for each 1 hour of classroom engagement, you are expected to study or prepare at least 3 hours or a minimum of 3 hours. That means you could actually multiply the whole thing to your 41 credit worth of courses multiplied by 14, multiplied by 3. That's the total amount of engagement that you will have as part of the learning. That means get ready for this. Your daily engagement will be close to 17 hours. Surprising? You study for 17 hours in a day. Anything less than that, that will very clearly show up in your performance card. If you want to be on top of the ladder and then climb the higher grade as early as possible, you need to do this the process that we have devised, and then you need to get engaged and get entangled with that. And that's the only way for you to get to the best outcome possible. Any deviation in it, you are likely to face challenges. Your grade will poorly show up. That essentially means that you will have problems with your summer internship, and so is the case with your final recruitment. So all of that is so closely connected. So the process that we have devised, each 1 hour of lecture, at least 3 hours of additional preparation time. Each 1 hour of lab, if there is a lab exercise, for example, we have some lab courses. There is a lab course called business analytics. It's a lab course. For each 1 hour of lab course, you need to invest another additional 1 hour of lab time. So that is how the whole structure is. So your complete participation, complete involvement is expected. You are not expected to do anything beyond academics learning. And of course, you will have to somewhat accommodate committee activities and club activities within that given constraint. That's going to be part of your learning process. So we recommend and encourage all of you to do that. But along that, so your academics will have to be an important component. Now, we have thought about introducing certain electives in the first years that was never existed before, and this is somewhat a new attempt. Unlike any other institute in the country, we are trying to make something very, very different and unique. Hopefully that will come through, and that we are still seeking clearances for those attempts. Hopefully, if that comes through, you will also get to see all those details, and we'll explain those things as it comes through. And having completed the first year, 41 credits of courses, classroom engagement, and 2 credit worth of winter internship with NGOs and foundations and so on, and 4 credit worth of summer internship, that is your corporate engagement for 2 months. You would move into second year. As you come into the second year, right after completing your first year exams, we will start talking to you about your stream of specialization. We would encourage you to decide upon one of the streams. And of course, the flexibility will be there. You can come back, choose either MBA stream of specialization or Tech MBA stream of specialization. You can talk to your peers, parents, friends, and then talk to your company wherever you do your summer internship and so on. There you can talk to colleagues there. And you can come back and then decide which one is the best option that you would like to go for. So either way, whether you choose Tech MBA or MBA stream, in the second year, you are expected to do 32 credit worth of courses. So that is your 16 credit will come from the courses, core courses, where 10 credit of the whole 32 credit will be available for you to choose courses from other departments of the institute. You don't need to typically choose courses from SME alone. You could certainly choose courses from departments such as mathematics, such as humanities and social sciences, such as manufacturing, such as mechanical engineering, such as computer science, such as AI, Department of Artificial Intelligence, or Center for Artificial Intelligence, and so on. So you could choose courses across all the other departments of the institute. 10 credits is available for that. And you will study 3 non-graded courses. And assuming that if you don't want to choose courses from other departments, you can always choose courses from SME and complete your credit requirement. There is no compulsion as such for you to choose courses from other departments, but we encourage and recommend you to choose courses from other departments. We have in fact curated and tried shortlisting a set of courses. We have listed out 30 courses for you to pick across institute or institute-wide. We will share that list with you as you once you start getting through the process and so on. You will get to see that as early as possible. And you will study 3 non-graded courses as well. One is business ethics, corporate communication, and so on. And there will be a 3 credit worth of project. So this is going to be our entire second year package. And I don't know whether it surprises you or whether it sort of confuses you. You will have a bucket of courses, close to 200 elective courses is what we will have. But we will try and minimize the load on you to choose a number of electives. We will try and curate a specific combination and a set of electives for you to choose from. And then make it available for. For example, this year we made 114 courses available for the students. At the end of the day, 63 courses were subscribed across 3rd semester and 4th semester. Of course, there will be still flexibility available to you till the time you finally register for those courses on Aryabhatta portal. Of course, you will get to understand what Aryabhatta portal I am referring to. Maybe in a little while later, somebody will introduce you to Aryabhatta portal from the academics office. Now, these electives are not to confuse you. These electives are to give you more option to try and make your own combinations for as per your own interest and your career prospects and so on. But at the same time, there are certain restrictions in terms of, say, if a course is subscribed with less than 5 students, that course is unlikely to run. Then you might have to switch between other closer options subscribed by your peers, or you can talk to your other peers and then try and see if there is someone who can come and subscribe to a course which had got less than 5 students. That's also another possibility. You can do that within your group. So all of those multiple options are you will be available to you. You can work that around. Anyway, this is a list, and that can be shared with you later. That will take a lot of time now. Now I'll just try and talk to you or take you through a little bit about academic experience. One of the things that we recommend, and rather we highly recommend, and we would want every one of you to follow that up, is go through the process that we prescribe, and you can certainly predict the possible result. If you happen to deviate that process, you are likely to face challenges. Now, what is that process all about? What is that unique process all about? I will now slightly take you back to one of the tallest philosophers of all time, Socrates, who says, I quote, "I cannot teach anybody anything. I can only make them think," unquote. If you ask me a question, are we going to teach you at School of Management and Entrepreneurship, IIT Jodhpur? My answer would be quite close to what Socrates had said. I will say, I don't know how to really teach. I'll only make you think about something. I'll create that curiosity. So that's my job as a teacher, to create that sense of curiosity for you to think, or create that excitement in you that you would start thinking about it. So that's exactly what we try and do at the School of Management and Entrepreneurship. And therefore, the bunch of faculty that we are here, all of us try and attempt to do that at each time. Some may fall short of it at times, some might surpass that expectation. So that's how the attempt is still on, and we will continue doing that attempt. So in fact, Galileo says the same thing, somewhat repeating what Socrates said. You cannot teach people anything. You can only help them discover it within themselves. That means even Einstein goes on to say the same thing. I never teach my pupils. I only attempt to provide the conditions in which they can learn. So that's exactly what we try and do, and we attempt to take lessons out of what these philosophers have said, and then try and practice it at School of Management and Entrepreneurship. So we translate that method into somewhat what we call as a case method, or a Socratic method, in other words. What is that about? Ask questions. How do I really make you think? What is the way? How do I really translate that idea of making somebody think? The way I translate that idea is by asking you a question, and asking you another question, and asking you further ahead another question, never giving you that answer. The moment I give you that answer, you stop thinking. You see, being a teacher is is an easy job, isn't it? So all of you can try and become one someday, at some point in time. Because you just need to ask questions. You don't need to do anything else. It's for you to think. It's for you to answer those questions. So therefore, it's a challenging task. At the same time, it's a lot of fun. We collectively think through. We collectively try and understand all of these issues together. Rather, we learn together as we grow along. So this is what exactly Socratic method of cartoon is about. What can we say about this phenomenon? Well, uh, what are your assumptions? So, and what do you what is that? Yeah, what do you base your reasoning on? So instead of saying what is this phenomena about and what do I really think of this phenomena as, I would rather ask somebody, hey, what is your assumption about it? And what are the possible reasons that you may have, the assumptions you may have? And that's how I would go about addressing those issues. So therefore, typically we call that method a case method. In other words, a peer-to-peer learning, where you learn and in the process you help others learn. So give me a second, I need to charge the laptop. Just about a second, just like this. Yeah. Uh, I think it's just be a beautiful light on phone call. And the latest the explanation to what is. Yeah. Yeah, sorry about this. There are several things happening simultaneously. We have an academic committee meeting going on simultaneously. We are making a presentation there as well. All right. Yeah, moving on. The case study method is supposed to be the one that translates what I just spoke of as Socratic method of learning, where we keep on asking questions, where we push the peers to learn from each other. You all contribute to each other's learning. It's not that the professor would come and give you the knowledge. So this is what something I've been telling you in all my sessions. I think I had one session before and one case session as well. This is probably my third interaction with all of you. My consistent view has been that instead of telling you what it is, we would want you to figure out on your own what it is, and then tell everybody else what you think it is. And then we would want others to come back and then say why it is not what it is. Why it is not what you think is what it is. So instead, we want them to come in and then contest you and then give their set of assumptions, give their set of reasons, and then tell us why it is different for them and why it is not what you think as it is. So therefore, it's a pretty interesting journey it's going to be, and I'm sure my only request to all of you is allow yourselves to do what is expected in the classroom. Allow yourselves to prepare enough for each session. Allow yourselves to participate in group discussions. Allow yourselves to be friend with the rest of your classmates. Compete, cooperate. Compete, cooperate. You need to compete because it's a relative grading. At the end of the day, relatively you would be graded. And you got to cooperate because the learning happens in the group. A beautiful concept of what happens out in the world, what happens out in the corporate world, what happens out in the general usual life, life between individual families, life between individuals per se. It's typical cooperate, compete. Each time that's the law of nature to some extent. It appears to me. So that's exactly what we practice in the classroom. If you can allow yourselves to participate in it, you will enjoy the whole process. Your next 2 years will be amazing. So these are some of the initial thoughts that I thought I'll share with you. And we would also expect you to participate with clubs and committee activities. with equal enthusiasm and with equal sense of excitement, and then contribute there as much as possible. So that's about it from my end, and I would be more than happy to take a few questions. And I would also welcome Dr. Preeti to say hello to you, and she can also formally welcome you all. And then I'll be happy to take questions from you. Yeah.
Hello, students.
Mhm.
Hello, everyone. How are you?
Good evening, ma'am.
Am I audible?
Ma'am.
Good evening, ma'am. Very much, ma'am. Good evening, ma'am.
Questions? How it is going on? I hope you're learning a lot about the department, about the activities, about the course curriculum.
Ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
So, yeah, back to Dr. Venkatesh. Can you please have queries?
Yeah. Thank you, Dr. Preeti. And
I-
we operate on MBA Office is the official email ID, and which is what Dr. Preeti operates, and you are free to write to that email ID. Yeah. Any other questions, any thoughts that you may have,
Sir,
please
I
feel
had a
free to share.
question, sir.
Yeah.
Sir, you said there are 16 and total of 10 other subjects which we can choose. Can we choose more than 10 subjects in those electives?
Well, Niladri, yes. It's not 10 courses, it is 10 credit worth of courses. That means it can be 5 courses combined, each course can be of 2 credit. That means amounting to up to 10 credits. Okay. Okay. Now, having said that, you can choose courses beyond that in the form of audit courses. You can always audit a specific course that you wish to, but there is a restriction. You cannot audit more than 1 course per semester, right? That is a sort of restriction. So we need to work within that boundaries. You can definitely do it. Yes.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah, of course. There's also another concept called self-study. You can work with a professor if the professor is willing to offer a course as a in a self-study mode. There will be no classes. Then you need to study those courses on your own. So that's another option that you will have. Yes.
Thank you very much, sir.
No problem. Yeah. Thanks, Niladri. Yeah. Anybody to come? Any queries?
Sir,
Yes, please.
what is the criteria to get a minor in a specialization in the major? Like,
Harika, you know
credits
what?
criteria?
Yes, I'll just clear that out. We have just 2 streams of specialization. One is Tech MBA, other one is MBA specialization. Further down, we don't differentiate in terms of area specialization. Say, we don't call it a finance specialization, we don't call it a human resource specialization, we don't call it a marketing specialization. So what we generally, the general understanding is that if you want to specialize or if you want to gain uh, more knowledge in one specific domain, say for example, human resource management, we recommend you to study at least 16 credit worth of courses in that domain. Then in your interviews and in your placement process, you could always pitch for yourself as a specialist or as an expert in the human resource domain concerned. So that is that those courses would get listed on your mark sheet anyway, and you will have an MBA degree or you will have a Tech MBA degree in which you have studied a set of courses from one stream. You could always pitch your case accordingly, but we don't specifically explicitly specify that MBA in HR, MBA in marketing, and those nomenclatures are not used. However, we recommend you to study about 16 credits minimum to call yourself so. And there is no concept called minor. So, but of course, implicitly what you can do is, if I can give you a clue, study about 16 credit worth of courses from one domain and study rest of the maybe another another 12, 14 credits from another area concern. Say area like for example, if you are studying HR, you can study about 10 credit worth of courses from maybe another domain like economics, something like that. So we leave that option open to the student to curate it that way. But there will be faculty guidance for it will be available for you before you moving into the specialization. We will provide you with all the guidance. You can work with the faculty concern and then decide where to. Yeah.
Sure.
Anyone else?
So I would like to come once again, sir.
Yes, Nilandri, please come in.
Sir, the course which you said we can take one per semester, we can start that from first semester only? That extra course one per semester?
First semester only. Of course, you can start from the first semester. You can do the audit course from the first semester onwards. Nobody will stop you from doing that. Of course, each time you take an audit course, it requires you to take an approval from the head of the department concerned, head of the school concerned, and then it would be cleared for you to go through. Mostly, you will not be stopped from taking a course, but in the first year, we recommend you not to indulge in additional courses. It's going to be too heavy for you. So our recommendation is to stick to the recommended courses. This itself is going to be very, very intensive. So therefore, if you could just stick to it, it will be much better for you. Your learning will be more intense and more deep instead of spreading too thin across too many courses. Yeah.
Thank you, sir.
Welcome. Yeah.
Hello, sir. Avinash this side. Am I audible?
Yes. Yes,
So as we're talking about
we are very well. Tell us. Yeah.
as we are talking about the elective subjects like from different domain. So will we get a brief intro like we in that subject what we are going to learn and how they are going to be differentiated from others, because we were not having great knowledge or much more deeper knowledge about that. So if we get some brief introduction from your side, it will be beneficial to us to decide which subject we can go for in further.
Exactly. Avinash, yes. In the very first year is all about that. In the first year, you would learn the foundational aspects of each stream of specialization, each stream of elective, what we call as, and you would get to see it, which of these domains that seem to be more close to you, close to your heart, or close to your career path. Then accordingly, you could choose, you could make your choice. If not, even if you're confused at the end of the first year, we will assign a faculty mentor to you. Rather, we would allow you to choose the faculty mentor, one amongst us, anyone. You could talk to any one of us. And then you sit across the faculty concerned, work with the faculty. Look at the possible, what is your academic background? One pointer. All right. And how is your performance in the set of courses in this current year? Okay. Point number 2. Third point, what is your career aspiration? So then put all these 3 blocks together and then see which of the streams that you think is likely to give you the best chance to accomplish this dream of yours, keeping your academic background that you come from and your current performance and also the future in view. So that is how you can make a decision, quite a informed decision. And we will also customize it and provide you with a set of courses for you from each domain. So you will have absolutely have no difficulty whatsoever.
Sir.
Yeah, welcome.
Sir, I want to ask, is there a role of any previous work experience in selection of some sort of like electives and all?
Prakash, no, not at all. So your previous work experience will have no bearing whatsoever on your choice of choosing Tech MBA or MBA stream. However, your Tech MBA selection will depend on your technical background. So therefore, you need to bear in mind whether you have got sufficient tech background to get into a stream like technology Tech MBA program, because that will have a very different sort of an orientation than that of an MBA program. And I must tell you, This is where the fun lies. For those students who choose MBA stream, will still have an opportunity to study tech MBA courses. Guess how? We would make those courses available for MBA stream of students as electives. You have chosen MBA stream. Okay, you will get a degree MBA from IIT Jodhpur at the end. But you still would have studied sufficient number of tech essential courses which are anyway mandatory for tech stream of students who have chosen tech MBA stream will have to mandatorily study about say 8 to 10 tech courses. They have no choice but to study. But whereas MBA students have a choice not to choose, but at the same time they also have a choice to choose. So that's where you have more option there. Yes.
Sir, on the same question, just like you said, we can do Tech MBA and MBA, General MBA. Can we also have a similar route for the two specializations as well? Like, for example, if I want to do finance and if I also want to do study operations, so can I choose like
this is what I explained some time ago when somebody asked me about can there be a major and minor in my specialization. We don't explicitly point out anything like specialization in finance, specialization in HR, specialization in operations, and so on. Instead, we have two clear streams of specialization. One is MBA and the other one is Tech MBA in the second year. But within that, it is up to the individual to customize and curate their number of courses. So, example, you want to study more courses and you want to gain expertise in operations management, operations domain. Then we recommend you to choose at least 16 credit worth of courses for yourself, for qualify yourself or consider yourself as sort of an expert in the domain. And that is how you could pitch for your candidature when you sit through placement process, summers, and then final placements and so on. So this is what the deal is. So you are free to then make the customization. You have chosen about 16 credit worth of operations management courses, and then you could choose maybe about another 8 to 10 credit worth of courses from say another domain, IT domain, say another domain such as tech MBA domain. So you are doing an MBA, but you have chosen certain electives from tech MBA domain, so you could still could gain some amount of control or some amount of confidence in the tech domain as well. So that's how the options are wide open for.
Hi, sir. Good evening. Am I audible?
Yes, yes.
Yeah, sir. Just small two questions. So first thing, are we allowed to use the AI infrastructure if we choose Tech MBA?
Absolutely. Yes. You are not visible, Sai Tarun. I think, yeah.
I have a little bandwidth issue, so I stopped my video.
Yes, WebEx at times takes a little bit more, it demands more internet space than other platforms anyway.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. And one more thing, in the final year, like when we get the certificate, a master certificate, will it be mentioned as a Tech MBA or will it be as a general MBA?
It will be very categorically mentioned. If you have chosen Tech MBA, it will be Tech MBA. If you have studied MBA stream if you have chosen MBA stream in the second year, it will be MBA. It will be accordingly.
Yes, sir. And one more thing, I just feel like the Tech MBA is more concentrated towards the analytics and the AI related subjects. So is it that we even have AI MTech happening in the college? So will we be sitting for companies who come for AI MTech also, or is it like?
No, that's unlikely that we will be sitting. You will be sitting for companies that come to recruit AI and tech students. Instead, you will have a separate placement process. We at School of Management Entrepreneurship have a separate process. Of course, at the institute level, we have a separate placement process, and we have a separate placement process. And our clients and companies are very different from. Of course, at times we do share the resources that we have. But when they come to SME, they come to recruit you exclusively, and there is no mix and match. That doesn't happen. And your AI, that the amount of AI that you study, probably not as intense as the AI team that does MTech. You know, they have a very different orientation, whereas yours will be a managerial orientation. So you will do a managerial as part of the AI. But of course, you will have access to all the AI resources that we have. In fact, IIT Jodhpur has one of the best AI architecture and facility in the country right now.
Yeah, thank you, sir.
Yeah. Yeah. I hope I've been able to answer most of your questions.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
one question. So for having the second year degree, like what we want to have, like take MBA, so there is like any criteria that in the first year we have to have this much of credits to earn the tech MBA.
Okay. Could you come again? I couldn't get the whole question.
Yeah, that's the thing that if we want to choose tech MBA in our second year or any other MBA, so is there any credit system that we have to earn this much of credit in our first year, then we are able to assess the tech MBA or the general MBA?
No, it typically depends on your tech background. If in case, assuming that you have come from non-tech background, imagining that you are a BCom student, you are fully not recommended to take the path of tech MBA. So that's a different sort of a ball game. You are kind of discouraged, despite irrespective of what your credit is, how much credit you have earned in the first year, you would be discouraged to take the tech stream as such. Of course, in an extreme case, if somebody has earned a lot of tech certificates and so on, that can be assessed case by case. But in general, those who don't have tech orientation, haven't done tech in their undergraduations, might have to struggle. Therefore, it is not quite recommended there. Yeah. But you always have an alternative, right? You always have an alternative, an option, equally better option. So it's not nothing is more, nothing is less, and that sort of a situation. Both are equally, important in the years to come. Yeah.
Sir, I want to ask about winter internship. Hello.
Yes, Vishal.
Sir, I want to ask the different profiles that are offered in winter internship.
Yeah, so my colleague, Dr. Preeti, will be able to give more details. Dr. Preeti Tiwari, and she's one of the professors in the entrepreneurship and innovation domain, and she handled the whole thing. Just to give you a broad glimpse of it, the variety that we were able to capture was starting with, for example, organizations that work with children to that of organizations that work with environmental issues. So that has been the range of issues, right? So that meant that organizations that worked for rural cause, organizations that worked for urban development, urban upliftment, and upliftment of poor, gender issues, and all of those issues were broadly part of the whole gamut of organizations that came in to recruit our students. We were happy to hear very, very positive, feedback from most of the organizations, and our students were able to, some of them took very challenging tasks such as fundraising for the organizations, and they were able to draft proposals. They were able to reach out and create that network for the organizations, and also win certain projects for the organizations in that very short 1 month period of time. So therefore, it is challenging, but at the same time, I would say very, very fulfilling. Yeah. So you may definitely ask that question, probably when we talk about winter internship with Dr. Preeti Tiwari. She will be able to give you a complete list of organizations and the variety of activities students did and so on. So I will rather ask her to share those details with all of you. You will get to see that more in detail. No.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Yeah. All right. So thank you very much. It seems the questions are exhausted. Continue participating with equal amount of enthusiasm, with equal amount of energy. And of course, as it gets late, you might start losing some amount of energy and start losing interest to some extent. But this is what the flavor of business and management world going to be. It's going to be exhaustive. It's going to be more demanding, asking you to stretch your schedule and come in terms with a new set of a schedule. So it's going to be a new normal for you. So your normal, what has been normal for you, will no longer be a normal. So it's not like you get up from the bed and do usual routines and then have food and again watch a TV or sleep and then again go for an evening walk or play in the evening. Now those things are going to be completely toppled down now. So welcome to this new world of busy schedule, and I'm sure you will enjoy this as well. So it's equally fun-filled life as I could foresee, as I could assume, and I'm sure it will make it much more joyful and enjoyable. So that's about it from my end. Welcoming you to SME IIT Jodhpur once again on behalf of all my colleagues, and welcoming you to the program per se, to the MBA program as an MBA program chair on behalf of the MBA office. So that's about it. Take care. Stay fit
Thank you
and
so
stay
much,
happy.
sir.
Sir,
Yes.
sir, one
Yeah.
question.
Yeah.
Sir, one question.
Yes.
Sir, suppose, yeah.
Yes.
Suppose we have to inform to embrace about some sort of genuine reason we are going to absent for 1 or 2 sessions. So is there someone like from faculty team to intimate about that?
What is that? So you have to go for journalism. What is that?
No, sir. I'm saying suppose I am going to absent for some sessions. So in the guidelines, it is written like you have to mail to Embrace. So along with Embrace, is it required to add some faculty members in the?
Prakash, I'll tell you, we expect 100% attendance. There is no excuse that you can take in an extreme situation. If at all there is a situation where you need to excuse yourself, you need to take permission from the faculty concerned. Each faculty, each session, only the faculty can allow you to take a break from the session. Nobody has an authority to approve your vacation or your holiday. So if there is a faculty A who has a session lined up and you have an emergency which you cannot attend, you need to write to the faculty concerned, and the faculty will forward that recommendation to MBA office. Otherwise, you are considered to be unauthorized absence. So that would lead to a lot of consequences. So therefore, we recommend all of you to be attentive. If you don't attend the class, you don't learn anything at all. So classroom is an important, because it's a discussion, it's part of discussion. It's not a monotonous classroom. It's a place where you discuss, you learn from each other. If you miss that, you've almost missed the bus. So never miss a class unless it is an extreme situation. Yes, Prakash.
Sorry, sir, I'm not asking about the classes. I'm asking about this orientation session, like up to 5 days. Suppose I have a genuine concern, I can tell you personally. So
okay, you're asking about you're asking about orientation. So take it up with the Embrace team and the induction team. Induction team is led by Dr. Akanksha. Dr. Akanksha is right there, very much there. You can always reach out to her and then explain your case. And we recommend you not to miss out the induction, because this is a very, very important initiation process. If you miss this out, that it's almost like you're losing the very, very beginning of the entire aspect. And then suddenly you come at into the picture at the center of the activity. Then you don't know really how it all really started off. You have planned out activities in such a way that it kind of brings you very, very organically into the program, into the classroom. So the preparatory classes and then the induction, then the classroom. So everything has a very, very linear connection. Please don't miss any of these things. So there is so much more effort that goes into each of it, and a lot of thinking, a lot of planning, a lot of logistics, efforts that each colleagues of mine put in, and each one of us do, spend time in doing those things. So therefore, it's our request that not to really miss out such an opportunity for you to learn. Yeah, so that's my submission from my end, Prakash. Yes. Yeah. Thanks. Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you, sir and ma'am, for patiently answering our queries and giving us all the motivation to go forward.
To speak about sir, he's one of the most loved teachers who is always there for us with a pleasant smile on his face. And man has been this patient presence who dealt with all of our queries and issues and guided us calmly. We had a great time listening to your words, sir. Thank you.
Thank you, Vishnu. Yeah.
Thank you, sir. As Einstein once said, the mind that opens to new ideas never returns to its original size. Let us all be open-minded and big-hearted in all our future endeavors. Thank you.